Hi, the internet. Welcome to the What Else Show. I'm your host, Robert. This is Bethany.
Hi, internet.
And today we've got a brand new What Else Show for you. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Today we are going to do a first episode, which we have not done in a while.
That's right. We've got another episode of first episodes.
Yes, and we are going to talk about the first episode of Saved by the Bell.
It's a little confusing. Bethany, before we get into it, why don't you tell us about why this is confusing?
So this is confusing because Saved by the Bell was rebranded, repackaged. Originally, it was Good Morning Miss Bliss.
Right.
And I think it got confusing only after the episodes all aired. So it's only on trying to rewatch them that they become confusing.
I don't think that's true. Here's how I think it goes, and then you read us the Wikipedia.
Okay.
So they aired 3 episodes of Good Morning Miss Bliss that aired once on, I believe, CBS. Mm-hmm. And then they were like, no, that's not it. And then they did 13 episodes of Good Morning Miss Bliss that added like Zack and Screech and Lisa, and then 2 other kids I don't really remember.
Yeah.
And that ran for 13 episodes, and they were like, no, that's not it. And then they started Saved by the Bell they got rid of Miss Bliss. Mm-hmm. It was like Zack and Screech and Slater and all those people we know, right? Kelly. Jesse, all of them, right? And they're like, okay, this is Saved by the Bell. But when they did that, they also got the rights to Good Morning Miss Bliss. Then they started getting Zack to go back to those episodes when they aired them, the Good Morning Miss Bliss episodes. Mm-hmm. And starting with episode 2, Zack is sitting in a chair and being like, this happened earlier. This is what we did to Miss Bliss.
When I was in junior high.
Yeah.
I think that is how.
Okay, read us the Wikipedia to see if that matches up at all.
So this says... This is from the wiki for Good Morning Miss Bliss. And this says Good Morning Miss Bliss, also retroactively known as Saved by the Bell, the junior high years, is an American teen sitcom that originally aired on the Disney Channel from November 30th, 1988 until March 1989. And then later in syndication as part of the Saved by the Bell rerun package. Good Morning Miss Bliss starred Haley Mills as a teacher, and the series takes place at JFK Junior High in Indianapolis. After one season on the air on the Disney Channel, the show was retooled as Saved by the Bell, which aired on NBC. And then the Saved by the Bell that we know took place in Bayside in California.
Right. Are you reading the Wikipedia, Bethany?
I'm just summarizing. Because there's a lot here and I'm not going to read the entire thing. The show was canceled after 13 episodes and NBC reclaimed the rights to it, reformatting Good Morning Miss Bliss into Saved by the Bell. The characters of Zack, Lisa, Screech, and Mr. Belding made the transition to Saved by the Bell, which then saw the 4 located in the fictional California suburb of Bayside. So it did get a little confusing because we were trying to watch the first episode of Saved by the Bell.
And then I was like, hey, Bethany, this doesn't seem like Saved by the Bell. This seems like Good Morning Miss Bliss. And Bethany's like, no, totally different show. Shut up. You don't know what you're talking about.
No, that's not what happened. So the premise of the first episode of Good Morning Miss Bliss is actually like completely different. She's like helping a troubled student. So like the pilot episode aired one time, and it's kind of hard to find now.
It's on YouTube. You can find it super easy.
Yeah, but I mean, like it's not on like a streaming service. No. So it's like only on YouTube. And yeah, the premise of that episode is completely different. So we did actually watch the first episode of Saved by the Bell, the junior high years.
Yeah, but we also, but that was what it was retroactively known as. We did watch the first episode of Good Morning Miss Bliss. You're getting confused about the pilot and the first episode.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so the... yeah. So the first episode and the pilot are completely
completely different.
Okay. So we watched the first episode, not the pilot.
Right. We watched the first episode of Good Morning Miss Bliss, but it was retroactively the first episode of Saved by the Bell, the junior high years. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So we did watch yep. Got it.
Okay. So we watched this on Prime Video with ads. Ugh.
Yes, with ads. Ugh. And
The transfer was not great from video to digital. It does not look great.
yeah, the quality's not very good. The name of the episode, if you're wondering, is Summer Love. That's the name of the episode.
That's the name of the episode. So if you're trying to watch it, it comes up on Prime Video as Saved by the Bell. And on the thumbnail, it says season 6, but you click on there and like all the seasons are there, but it starts in season 6. I don't know. It's really difficult to get into.
It's really weird.
Let's talk about the episode.
The episode.
Actually, let's talk about our history with Saved by the Bell, then we'll talk about the episode.
God, I watched Saved by the Bell all the time.
I also watched Saved by the Bell
Constantly.
all the time. Not because I liked it, because it seemed like it was always the only thing on.
I watched it just because, like, I thought it was fun, and yeah, I don't know. It's really strange. So the episode starts, and it starts with that intro.
When I wake up in the morning and the alarm gets out of warning, I don't think I'll ever make it on time. By the time
Right. This episode starts with the Saved by the Bell intro.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't know what year it's from, but it is the 90s. The 90s, 90s-ist
90s.
thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's very, very 90s.
Love it.
Yeah, because it's like I like, so the episode starts and I'm like singing along with the theme song. Like, I know all the words of that stupid theme song, and it's really annoying.
Love it.
Loved it. Yeah.
So the first episode starts out, and it's definitely not Saved by the Bell because they're following around Miss Bliss.
Miss Bliss, and the episode starts with her narrating. School is starting again, and everyone has new clothes.
The first day.
They talk about, so it's the first day after summer vacation, and everybody is talking about their summer vacation.
Yeah, what happened during summer.
Yes. And then we see a few of the characters. So it's Mike and Zack and Screech. So they're kind of picking on Screech at the very beginning of the episode. So like right away we know, okay, Screech is kind of the...
Yeah, Screech is established as
like
the nerd, I guess.
Yeah, like the victim of their...
Yeah.
They're like bullying him, but it's kind of a good-natured bullying. Like they weren't full-on mean to him. They're just teasing him.
Right.
So they start talking about their summer, and we find out that Zack lied about his age, and he told a 9th grade girl that he was in 9th grade when he's actually in 8th grade. So there's some dialogue. That's in the hallway, and then it cuts to the office where we see Miss Bliss and another teacher. I did get her name, Miss Palladrino.
I remember these characters.
Yeah.
And it was always so confusing about Miss Bliss and Saved by the Bell, and now I'm finally starting to understand what happened.
Yeah.
Now that I'm 100 years old. you
Yeah.
know? I wish I had that kind of.
You have to be like, we were today years old before we understood the difference between Good Morning Miss Bliss and Saved by the Bell.
I wish
What
I had
happens.
that kind of understanding when I was younger.
I know, like that would have helped so much watching the show through that lens of understanding
Mr. Belding
the chain of events.
wants Miss Bliss to go to a PTA meeting for him.
Yes.
A PTA board meeting. I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
But she doesn't want to because she's got a date.
She has a date, and Mr. Belding is like shocked. Everybody's like shocked that she has a date on a Wednesday.
Mr. Belding doesn't want to go because he wants to see The King and I with
Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas, which is a joke, I guess. I don't know. Are kids getting that joke? Kids even back then?
I don't know that a kid then would have even gotten that joke.
Yeah.
Telly Savalas is like an adult actor. Like,
Sure.
he's an actor that adults liked in the 80s and 90s. Like
Maybe in the 70s.
Oh yeah, like in the 70s. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Kojak. Like I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not even super familiar. Bald lollipop, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty familiar with Telly Savalas because I used to watch a lot of old stuff.
You're old.
Shut up. We have the transition back into the hallway with the entrance of Karen, who's a new student, and she comes in and she asks, I need to go to this room. Can somebody show me? So she and Miss Bliss exit the office and they're back in the hallway. In the hallway, they run into Zack.
Zack's in the hallway for no reason.
For no reason. Yep, he's in the hallway for no reason. He doesn't realize that Miss Bliss is with Karen, and then he sees her and realizes, oh, I know you. And
Yeah, Karen goes to this school now because her father was transferred.
yes.
Is he in the military or does he have
They
a
never
transferable job? She just
say.
said transferred, right?
Yeah, my father just transferred. I go to school here now. And so Zack is a little taken aback because he's got this lie. He lied to her. This is the same girl he lied to over the summer. Miss Bliss doesn't quite pick up on it. And so she tells Zack, show this girl to the class that she's supposed to be in and then come to my class. Because Zack's in Miss Bliss's homeroom class. So Zack shows up to Miss Bliss's class late. And they start talking about a first day of school, like general assembly for the whole school. And Zack is mortified because he's supposed to be the eighth grade representative. And so he immediately resigns.
Yeah, he gives his job away to a friend.
Yep, gives it to a friend because he does not want to stand up and tell everybody that he's in eighth grade because then Karen will know that he's a liar.
Right.
I feel like most of Saved by the Bell episodes are like,
I feel
Zack
like
is a liar.
most all sitcoms are from people telling like a little lie that they don't want to get out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, so cut to the lunchroom.
This is kind of territory we've gone over. It's just another scene of him bothering her to go to the PTA meeting. What happened next?
Yeah. Once again, the bell rings and Miss Bliss reminds Zack and Karen that like, hey, it's time for you to go to your next class. Karen runs along and then it's just Zack and Miss Bliss talking and Miss Bliss figures out that Zack has lied about something. She's not sure what. So Zack finally comes clean to Miss Bliss and tells her, yeah, I told Karen I'm in ninth grade and I'm only in eighth grade.
I think Zack should be more upset because Karen is saying she's in ninth grade, but she really looks like a 35-year-old woman. It's just the style of the time, maybe?
I think it's just the style of the time. She's wearing a sweater that looks like very
Old-timey?
Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, she looks a lot older than ninth grade. Also, what are the ages of the people at the school? Like,
yeah,
why?
like 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th?
I'm so confused.
Or,
Yeah.
well, junior high.
But junior high,
Is
that also ninth grade?
I don't know.
Like,
Do you think it's just
back in my day.
7th, 8th, and 9th? What were your schools like?
So my school was elementary school was kindergarten through 5th grade. Middle school or junior high was 6th, 7th, and 8th grade.
Interesting.
Although some places junior high is 7th and 8th grade, but
That's-
9th grade was always high school. You
That's-
went to a totally different school in 9th grade.
That's mine. Mine was 7th and 8th grade, and then 9th grade was high school.
Yeah, 9th grade was always high school. So I don't understand the mixture of
Let 'em
ages.
Cut it up however they want. I don't care.
It was weird, but it's like hard to understand the show. Anyway, we're getting
wasn't that hard
wrapped
to
around
understand.
the axle on the details.
8th graders and 9th graders go to the same
For
school.
some reason, they go to the
my
same
mind
school.
is
We're
boggled.
not.
It's not that big a deal, Bethany.
Okay. Anyway, Miss Bliss tries to convince him, just tell the truth. And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty desperate. I'll try anything, even telling the truth. That's like his tagline.
Quote.
So then we cut to the head custodian, Milo, telling Miss Bliss that her parking spot is not going to be available.
I didn't understand the scene. He tells her that her parking spot's not going to be available because of some type of construction, and she was
Yes.
going to have to park like a mile away.
Yes. And
But then she's like, no, I'll take the bus instead.
I'll just take the bus.
Was this like some kind of revenge from Mr. Belding for her not going to the PTA meeting? And they never picked up back on it.
I think what they were trying to get at was the gossip about her date, because even Milo knows that she has a date. So she's like, how do you know? So there's like this gossip about Miss Bliss and her Wednesday night date. Miss Bliss at home preparing for her date, and Miss Pellegrino comes in and was supposed to grab flowers for the date, and she's like trying to make paper flowers, and Miss Bliss is trying to get her out of her house because her date Brian is going to be there any minute. So Miss Pellegrino finally leaves right as Brian is arriving, sees him in passing, and Brian has flowers. So I don't know why it was so important for Miss Bliss to have flowers for this date, whatever. So he brings her roses. And then they proceed to go through their date.
Yeah, their date is just dinner at Miss Bliss's house.
Yeah, that's their date.
Is this like a first date? It seems crazy that they would have a first date that's dinner at Miss Bliss's house.
Yeah, it's really weird. I accidentally skipped a scene.
What scene?
So after Milo talks to Miss Bliss, we cut to Karen and Zack having a conversation, and Karen figures out that Zack is only in 8th grade and dumps him.
Oh, yeah.
Not because he's in 8th grade, but she dumps him for lying to her. Then it cuts to Miss Bliss on her date. So they're having dinner, and she goes into her kitchen, and Zack shows up at her kitchen door.
Yeah, at her back door.
At her back door, like at her house. Is really strange. And so she lets him in and is like, "Hey, what's up? I got my date in the other room. Like what's going on?" She's very hospitable, but she's like trying to explain she's on a date.
Trying to keep Zack a secret in the kitchen.
Yeah, she's trying to keep him a secret in the kitchen, which is like another big 90s theme, right? Is like there's
a secret in the kitchen.
There's a secret in the kitchen. We have to whisper, we have to do this weird kitchen whispering. Zack tells her, "Hey, she dumped me." And Miss Bliss is like, "Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, have some pie. I'm going to go back to my date." So she goes back to her date, brings dessert, coffee, and her date is like, "Oh, what was that?" Because Zack's now making noise in the kitchen. So Miss Bliss goes back into the kitchen, sits down with Zack, and makes up a lie to Brian that Zack's the paper boy and he has come to collect his money. And so Brian comes into the kitchen and is like, "Hey, I have to go." And she thinks he's leaving because Zack is there, because her student is there. And so she's kind of like chasing after him like before he leaves, and she's like, "Look, I got to be honest with you, like, you know, this is my life as a teacher. Once school starts, my students are, you know, like my number one priority, whatever."
It's this point in the show, she tells her date that her students pop by all the time to her house.
All the time, which is weird. That's so weird. Like,
I thought that was crazy.
That is crazy.
Hey, if you're out there and you popped by one of your teacher from junior high's house all the time, let me know in the comments, please.
Yeah, let us know if that was a thing or is a thing. Like, maybe it's a thing that I don't know. But as a teacher, I would be mortified if any of my students found out where I lived.
Bunch of students just popping by all the time.
Just popping by all the time. Like, it's no big deal. And she's explaining this to him. And then finally he says, no, I'm not leaving because your student is here. I'm leaving because I got beeped by the hospital because he's a doctor and he has to go and there's an emergency. So he flirts with her a little bit and leaves. And then Miss Bliss and Zack have a little heart-to-heart.
Yeah, this is where we find out Miss Bliss's husband died 3 years ago. And she equates that to Zack losing his current summer girlfriend by saying, "You'll get over it."
You'll get over it. Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So it was like the moral of the story was that getting hurt was part of growing up, and Zack will eventually feel better about it. So that was really interesting. And then that's it. And the episode closes with them sitting at Miss Bliss's kitchen table eating pie.
Pie, sure. And it's over.
And then it's over. Yeah.
But
it was over really fast.
Sure. And I think the episode is 23 minutes long.
Yeah. It was real short.
What did you think about this first episode?
Not good. I feel like it doesn't hold up.
I don't know that it ever did hold up. I don't think it was ever good.
The show doesn't hold up. And also there's like comments made in the show that we would not tolerate now. He's constantly bugging Miss Bliss about this stupid meeting.
Yeah, he's badgering Miss Bliss about her date.
Badgering her like the whole
because
episode.
he wants her to go to the thing after she already said no. The PTA board meeting.
Yeah.
Go to the PTA board meeting for me. And she's like, no. Come on, go to the PTA board meeting for me.
No means no, Mr. Belding. No means no. It was so weird. It was very, very weird. I don't think it was a good episode. I've never seen this episode before. I did not like it. I just thought it was strange. So maybe I'm just like an older generation of Saved by the Bell.
Here's the thing. I would not watch more episodes based on the power of this episode, but I'm sure that's true for all of the episodes of Saved by the Bell now that I'm an adult, and it's not the only thing on television.
Yeah, maybe we just aren't... Well, because you were saying you never thought it was good.
Right.
Yeah. See, I thought it was good when I was younger. And then I'm watching this show and I'm like, man, Zack is annoying. Like, why did I watch this show?
It is funny how little
annoying.
kid Zack is in this.
Yeah, but he's so annoying.
Looks like a Dennis the Menace type.
He's annoying and unlikable on the show. And I'm like, why did I watch this show when I was younger? Because he's so...
But then this is the first episode. He probably gets less annoying and more likable as they get into high school.
Yeah, maybe.
These 13 episodes were canceled. What did you expect it to be good? They don't have the whole crew with them. Slater's not there.
Yeah, it's like the OG, like people. So it's just like Zack,
Jesse,
Mr. Belding, and
Kelly
Lisa.
Kapowski. No,
Like,
it's
those are the only three that I.
no Zack,
Screech. Yeah.
Screech,
Lisa, and Mr. Belding.
Mr. Belding. That's it.
That's
yeah.
it. Yeah, there's only 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's only like 4 people that I really.
No, from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. So.
Okay, Bethany, this is the point where you recommend or do not recommend people to watch this.
I would not recommend watching this episode.
Interesting. I didn't like the episode, but that doesn't mean I don't recommend it. I recommend it to people that are familiar with Saved by the Bell and don't know what the hell is going on with Miss Bliss. I feel like looking into it and watching the episode, it really kind of put some of the pieces together for me as to what happened. So I do recommend watching it.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
As more for your knowledge than your entertainment.
All right.
Bethany, any final words about Saved by the Bell / the junior high years / Good Morning Miss Bliss?
I have nothing else to say.
I don't have anything else to say either. I'm leaving less and more confused than ever. Should I take us out?
Yeah, Robert, why don't you take us out?
Thanks for watching, Internet. You can follow the show on Twitter at @WhatElseShow. We're also on Instagram at TheWhatElseShow. Please like, subscribe, and share on YouTube. If you have any comments about Saved by the Bell, Good Morning Miss Bliss, California Dreamin', let us know in the comments. Bye, Internet.
Bye, Internet.
This is Bethany.
Hi, Internet.
And today we've got a brand new What Else show for you. Bethany, what else are we talking about today?
Are you okay?
Should I try that over?
Try it again. Did you like that video, Internet? Watch another one. Click here. It's probably covering our faces. We're not sure. We like to review things. We like to eat things. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. And don't forget to subscribe.